Empty Epsilon Scenario Writing Dynamic Science Database. In this video, we're going to add information to the science database. Now, if you recall in a previous video, we created an ad hoc research vessel. That does not exist in the science database. We're just going to go out and demonstrate that that does not exist in the science database. So we'll launch our scenario, we will unpause it, we'll move our ship close to the research vessel, and we're going to scan it and see if we can get a good picture of it. So let's be the player. We'll take all the consoles, including a main screen, and let's go scan that vehicle. Now you notice the parameters there on the right. We get the call sign, we get the distance, we get the bearing, we get the speed. Once we scan it, we get the faction and the type. That button, DB button, doesn't work because there's no entry in the database. If we go database directly, we see ships, but there's nothing that pertains to that particular vessel. So let's see if we can get close to it so that we can get a nice external view of what it looks like as it flies around. There we have it flying in front of the planet. We get a nice rear quarter view. Let's see if we can get a little closer and get a front view as well. And yeah, we have a very narrow sliver of main screen here. Let's see if I can adjust and look out the right window and get a better picture. Oh, did I pick the wrong view? Let's try the left. No, that's the moon. I had it right the first time. Let's get a little closer. Now let's look out the right view. And there you have a picture of the freighter. Let's see if we can get around in front of it so you can get a view of what it looks like from sort of the front. So that is our research vessel. If we go over to the Corvette category and we pick up a Garbage Freighter 2, you can see the nice little rotating 3D model of what the ship looks like. That's our basis for this vessel. So let's go to the trouble of adding this to our science database. First of all, I'm going to copy paste what I'd done earlier to get this information started into the science database. To do that, I'm going to create a variable for the research vessel so that it can be translated. That'll be the type name. The only difference between this vessel and the garbage freighter is going to be the impulse speed is higher. And there's the add specialty ship to science call. That function, as well as two other functions related, I defined earlier. I'm just going to copy paste them in here and we will run through them quickly. Again, you can pause if you need to see the code whenever you need to do that. So there's several local variables that we're using as keys. You have ship, specialty, research vessel, and Corvette. We'll use those names. We will check the specialty database to see actually we're adding it and that it comes out and goes into the specialty database variable. Checking the ship type to see if it's present and if it matches the research key. If so, we're going to query to see, query the ship specialty key and research key. If the database doesn't exist, as in it's nil, then we're going to go create it. So we need a base ship type. That's what the GF2 key is. We're starting with the Garbage Freighter 2. We're going to add the entry, query the database to get the entry that we just added, and then we're going to call this function generic specialty science info. And there's three parameters: specific specialty database, the base database, and the ship. The specific one is the research database. The base is the result of the query, ship, Corvette, and Garbage Freighter 2, and of course the ship is the ship. So let's see what we do in this function. As much as we can, we clone over the information from the base database. We're going to give the subclass the name of the specific specialty. There's shields, there's hull, there's several other things, move speed, turn speed. One of the things that we did early on that we didn't go over is to add specialty category to the science database. So instead of trying to put this into an existing category, we're going to create a specialty category in the database. So ships, specialty, we're going to check to see if that specialty database already exists. If it doesn't, we're going to create it. So the image is that radar transport PNG. Here's the description. Small, medium, large scale ships. They're often the working class. They carry personnel, a whole bunch of other stuff, but they also could conduct commerce, research, exploration, mining, etc. They don't fit an existing category. That's the long description of the category. Now this is the model that we're using, which corresponds to the garbage freighter model. Doesn't look like it because it says transport 3.2, but if we look at the Corvettes, you can see there's a loop from 1 to 5, and down here where we define garbage freighter, the model that we're using is transport _3_, and then we tack on the current iteration of the loop, which is 2. So that's how we got garbage freighter 2, is using this model transport 3.2. The long description that we use for the actual ship, we say it's based on a garbage freighter 2 hull. It's designed for cargo space and equipments, for research, as well as the scientist that's going to use the instruments and the cargo. Now that we've done all that, let's see how it holds up whenever we test. So let's spawn ourselves a ship. Let us go out to the game master. We're going to move the ship close to the research vessel so that we can scan it and look at it. We'll start the simulation, and let's be the ship, all the consoles, including main screen, and let's scan our research vessel and see what it looks like now that we have it in the science database. So again, after our first scan, we get more details, including a little DB button next to type. If we click that, voila, we have an entry in the database. So there's the information about the ship. There's that long description that we came up with. Let's go look at the category. It's called specialty, and there's the long description of the specialty. And we have ourselves a research vessel in the database. You too can do this and make your scenarios interesting.